If you're thinking about moving to Cartersville, Georgia, one of the biggest questions you probably have is very simple. Can I actually afford to live here? Let's break it down. If you're researching a move to Cartersville or Bartow County, this video is a must watch. I'm Drew Thomas, the Remix Realtor. I'm here in Northwest Georgia, and today I want to give you a realistic, no hype breakdown of the cost of living in Cartersville. And that way you are better equipped to decide if it fits your budget needs. Now, for all my budget bros out there, please note that this is not a dollar for dollar, down to the cents, exact number breakdown. This is more about just kind of a 30,000 foot view. What costs more, what costs less, what's about the same, just to kind of give people an overview and an idea as they consider a move here. First off, let's talk about housing cost. That is obviously the largest expense for most people. Compared to many parts of Metro Atlanta, Cartersville is generally more affordable, especially when it comes to single-family homes, lot sizes, and the overall space that you can get living here. That said, pricing does depend heavily upon location, and also the condition of the home and current market demands. But generally speaking, homes that are well maintained and priced correctly still move quickly, especially in some of the higher price ranges. So while Cartersville offers a good value, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap market, but I do believe it's I think it's more accurate to state that Bartow County is a better value for the money. Second point, utilities, everyday services. Utilities in Cartersville are generally reasonable, but they do vary some depending on home size, the age of the property, because most newer homes are better insulated. A lot of them have more efficient appliances, especially big appliances. You know, your air conditioning is generally, that's your most expensive highest use of electricity. So the newer the air conditioning unit, the more efficient it's going to be. And also, if the windows have been replaced, if the weather stripping is kept up, how well is the house sealed? New houses, they've got that tie-back wrap all the way around them. Older houses are more drafty. You get the point. Now, most households should expect normal seasonal swings, higher electric bills in the summer, slightly higher heating costs in the winter. Georgia Power does offer budget billing, where your power bill over the past 12 months can be split up and averaged out so that you pay the same or roughly the same budget amount every month. And they do those in 12-month cycles. So if you move to a different place, it may take a while to get the new average. But it gives you the option so that your bill is basically the same every month. Now, services like trash, water, and internet, obviously those are typically straightforward, pretty comparable to other suburban areas in Northwest Georgia. Nothing extreme here, just normal, manageable expenses that you're probably already used to. One other thing to note about location. Location does play a factor in who your provider is. If you live in the city limits of Cartersville, Your utilities and services are primarily provided by the city of Cartersville, aside from your phone, internet, and TV services. However, if you live outside the city limits, electricity is provided by Georgia Power, water is provided by the Bartow County Water Department. Let's see here, trash service. We'll come back to that in just a second. Gas, if you have a gas home, that's generally, if you're outside the city limits, that's generally provided by someone like Blossman. There's a couple other providers. They have those propane tanks people put out in the backyard. Now, back to trash service, you have a few different options. You can take your trash to Bartow County trash transfer stations. They have giant compactors. Throw it in, and if you've got larger items, they've got dumpsters set up out back, and they'll tell you which, one to put your brush in versus, old furniture, etc. Now, the other option is you can hire a trash pickup service, and they'll give you a trash can. They'll send their truck around. Your next door neighbor may have a different trash service than you do and a different trash pickup day and so sometimes that can get confusing. Now let's talk about transportation. As I mentioned in a previous video, transportation is a key factor because Cartersville is car dependent. You'll want to budget for fuel, insurance, vehicle maintenance, primarily. When you move into the county, if you buy a vehicle in Georgia, once that vehicle is registered and you transfer the license plate to your name, you'll pay the ad valorem tax here, and the sales tax and whatever other taxes that they can get out of your pocket. You'll pay that tax, and then after that, each year you just have to pay a $20 or $25 license plate sticker. The metro counties also require a emissions test. Again, it's another government sticking their hand in your pocket, in my humble opinion. But anyway, in Bartow County, you don't have to have currently, at the time of this recording, at the end of 2025 going into 2026, you do not have to have an emissions certification if the plate is registered to an address here in Bartow County. Now, the upside of all of this transportation stuff is that traffic is lighter, commutes are generally pretty short and predictable unless you get caught by a train in downtown Cartersville. And generally parking is not an issue. Even in downtown Cartersville, right now, parking is not an issue. Now, for many people, that balance actually lowers stress levels, even if some driving into downtown Cartersville is required. Okay, let's talk about groceries, dining, and daily life. When it comes to everyday spending, Cartersville tends to fall in a moderate range. Groceries, eating out, dining, other daily expenses are generally comparable to other Northwest Georgia areas and generally less expensive than the larger metro area of Atlanta. You'll find plenty of options for groceries, local restaurants. Some are national chains, regional chains, but we've got a ton of great options that are local, one-of-a-kind, mom and pop owned, right here, Bartow County specific restaurants. And of course, there's lots of options for everyday retail shopping. But You avoid a lot of the premium pricing that you see in bigger cities, Cobb County, Fulton County, and of course, Metro Atlanta. All right, let's talk about taxes and overall affordability. Georgia is often considered a tax-friendly state, and Cartersville does benefit from that overall tax structure. Locals complain about property taxes in particular, but property taxes are something that many newcomers find to be manageable when they compare them to where they're coming from, especially if you're coming from a higher tax locale. We have a lot of people moving here from New York and Illinois and California. Very high tax brackets there. Comparably, much lower here. Now, when you compare your housing value, your tax structure, and your day-to-day expenses, Cartersville often feels more affordable in practice, not just on paper. Cartersville works well financially for people who want space, stability, predictable expenses, and a calmer way of living. Now, it may feel less affordable if you're looking for luxury high-rise living or walk-everywhere urban convenience. But for most families that I talk to, professionals, retirees, the overall cost of living ratio is a big reason that they choose to live in Cartersville and Bartow County. All right, so what's next? In the next videos, I'm going to continue breaking things down, including where to live in Cartersville, some neighborhood overviews, property tours, and monthly market updates. In the meantime, if you're planning a move anywhere in Northwest Georgia, if you have any questions about cost of living, housing options, my contact information is always down below in the description of the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.